I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. Welcome to the Black Excellence and Abundance Channel.
In 1998, the proceedings of the National Academy of Science concluded a study by the Chinese Human Genome Diversity Project and made public their findings, which stated that most of the population of modern China, 1/5 of all the people living today, owes its genetic origins to Africa. The study was the result of a consortium of several leading research groups in the People's Republic of China in combination with the Human Genetics Center at the University of Texas Health Center in Houston, Texas. In addition to genetic evidence linking China to Africa, archaeological evidence has recorded close to 100 pyramids that are located in a 100-kilometer area around the city of Xi in central China. I can't help but wonder, why are these pyramids shrouded in mystery? What are they hiding? This site is also well known as the location of the famous life-size terracotta warriors. Further study of this history and art of the Shang and the Shang Dynasties in China will reveal even more African influence. This information and evidence points to a clear interaction and anthropological connection to China's African roots.
China's first dynasty and emperor were Africoid, or of black origins. Founded by King Te, the earliest documented rulership in China was the Shang or the Shang Dynasty. The Shang were credited with unifying China's earliest elements to form their first civilization. The Shang were given the name the Naki, Na meaning black and Qi meaning man. The first Chinese emperor, the legendary Fuxi, was a woolly-haired black man. Among his credits are establishing government and originating social institutions, as well as cultural inventions. He is said to be the originator of the I Ching, the Book of Change. It is among the oldest and most revered system of philosophy. Emperor Hung Wu was founder of the Great Ming Dynasty of China. He was African, Sudanese, and Mongolian descent and was also a Muslim. The skills that set the foundation for Shaolin Kung Fu descend from India and Africoid origins. Even in the White Garment Hall of the Shaolin Monastery in Hunan, province of China, there are 12-foot-long paintings of Chinese and Africoid Shaolin monks training boxing skills together. Although not promoted and somewhat hidden, it shows striking evidence of the deep interrelation of Africa, the martial arts, and Asia. There have been efforts made to cover up the facts. Even the original Chinese, called Li Min, and the Ainu of Japan were Africans. Also, there are books written to prove this fact,
such as The African Presence in Early Asia, authors Dr. Ivan van Sertima and Runoko Rashidi, and African Star Over Asia, The Black Presence in the Early East by Runoko Rashidi, and there are many others.
China's first dynasty and emperor, founded by King Te, who was black. The earliest documented rulership of China was the Shang Dynasty from 1500 to 1008 BC, which is credited with bringing together the elements of China's earliest civilization. The Shang was given the name Naki under the Black Dynasty. The Black Chinese established the basic form of graceful calligraphy that has lasted to the present day. The first Chinese emperor, the legendary Fuxi, was without a doubt black, and his African brothers and sisters established government, social institutions, and cultural inventions. They are credited with the creation of the I Ching, or the Book of Change, which is the oldest, most revered system of prophecy. It is known to have influenced the most distinguished philosophers of Chinese thought. These African offspring were responsible for the building of China's earth mounds pyramids, which are today mistaken for hills due to their eroded appearance and size. The pyramids in Japan are not made of stone indigenous to Japan. It is said that small black people built them during the Mu civilization. We know that the pyramids built around the world were all built by black people, as no other people have a history of building pyramids, judging by the contents of all the pyramids.
There are people who will dispute this fact. However, I challenge anyone to take a good, honest look at the contents of the pyramids throughout the world and find out who the builders of the pyramids are based on the contents of the pyramids. And you will find that they are inevitably black people. And there are also people who try to reduce our content as being racist. This is not true. As a matter of fact, it's far from the truth. What we are truth tellers. We challenge anybody to research any of the videos and any of the information that we find, and you will see that we are not racist at all. We are simply telling the truth about our people. Telling our truth, our story. We'd also like to point out that in a genetic study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Genetics, scientists found evidence that the first Africans arrived in China around 60,000 years ago. Population researcher and geneticist Li Jin said, "Our work shows that modern people came to Southeast Asia and then moved to northern China. This supports the idea that modern people came from Africa. In later ages, they were responsible in 210 for constructing an elaborate tomb for Shen Shi Hujuan. His body is guarded by an army of soldiers, warriors made out of the terracotta. They are also credited with building the Great Wall of China." That's right, folks. Black people had a very big hand in the building of the Great Wall of China. This is very interesting because this is a little known fact. I repeat, there is strong evidence that the Great Wall of China was built by black people. There is also evidence of a substantial population of blacks in early China. Archaeological studies have located an infrastructure which was inhabited by blacks in early Chinese history, and reports of major kingdoms ruled by blacks are frequent in Chinese documents. In the earliest Chinese history, several texts in classical books spoke of these diminutive blacks. The Toruli, composed under the dynasty of Tivu, 1122 to 249 BC, give description of the inhabitants with black features. Chinese folklore speak often of these blacks and mention an emperor of Chinese named Li, 373 to 397. He was a companion of the emperor Shao, who was spoken of as being black African, and the kingdom of blacks in the southwest of China. Chinese folklore speak often of these blacks and mention an emperor of Chinese named Li, companion of the emperor Shao of Wei, who was spoken of being black African, and the kingdom of blacks in the southwest of China. The sacred Manchu dynasty shows a great multitude of black people. Emperor Po Yi of the Manchu Kawa, direct descendants of the Manchu ruler of China, is most distinctly black. Chinese Chronicle reports that a black empire existed in the south of China at the beginning of the country's history. So you see, folks, black people were there at the very beginning. In Sheikh Anta Diop's writing, African Origin of Civilization, the ancient black royal house of China, 1766, 1100 BC, called the Shang, contributed mightily to China's earliest known civilization. Now, this history is a little known fact in black history. The fact that black people were at the very beginning of the Chinese Empire lets us know that we have a history that is unexplored and that is many times, unfortunately, hidden from us. The truth of the matter is, we don't need to take a backseat to anybody, because oftentimes you will find that we were there at the very beginning of the establishments of great, great civilizations. The Black Excellence and Abundance channel, where Black history is every day. Thanks for watching, and please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And never forget that thou art rich.